Welcome to Talkin Business. I'm Joe Catrambone, CEO of the Stuart Martin County Chamber of Commerce, and it's my pleasure today to have Eric Winegard from Rare Blue Moon Marketing as my guest. Welcome.
Pleasure. Yeah, thank you for having me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Eric. I'm going to read a little bio on you so folks know a little bit about you, and then we're going to have a conversation.
Sounds good.
Okay. Okay. Eric brings over 18 years of extensive experience in digital marketing to the table. His journey began with a remarkable tenure in a leading New York state marketing firm, where he distinguished himself as a record-setting vice president of sales. 4 years ago, Eric embarked on a new chapter in sunny Florida, leveraging his profound understanding of marketing to spearhead numerous successful ventures with Rare Blue Marketing at the forefront. His entrepreneurial spirit and strategic acumen has been pivotal in the establishment and growth of these enterprises. Beyond his professional endeavor, Eric's commitment to excellence extends to all facets of his life. As chairman of Rare Blue Moon, his passion resonates deeply with clients, employees, and his life partner, Alexis. His dedication to fostering meaningful connections and driving tangible results underscores his unwavering commitment to success. Good for you.
That was a good script writer. Whoever did that.
How'd you like that? It's pretty good, huh?
That makes me feel pretty good.
So, I like to start out with how'd you get here? What brought you to Martin County?
I lived in a town called Rochester, New York,
Know
which
where it
is
is.
well, it's yeah. When people hear New York,
Yeah.
they always think tall buildings, skyscrapers, right? Rochester is a very Midwestern community.
Yeah, it's rural. It's
There's farms
yeah,
and
yeah. It's
cows.
nice. It's nice. I like that area in New York.
Yep. And I lived there 40 years. It's funny though, even when I was in high school and I would watch the CSI shows and I would see Miami, I always wanted to live in Miami. But, life happens. I went into the military. I went to the Navy for 4 years. I went back to Rochester, got a degree in psychology. I started working for a marketing firm, and I always had this passion to get to Florida. I just, the weather, the vibe, I won't get into everything, but I align with Florida, okay? And then once COVID hit at the age of 40, like many of us, hardworking New Yorkers, America First New Yorkers, I said, you know what, there's a calling right now. So I just said, it's time to rock and roll. Let's go. And just so you know, I risked everything. I left a very high ranking position with a marketing outfit and put all my chips on black, meaning me and my fiance. And today, the first year, like any business, ups and downs, where today is, we're thriving and very happy.
Well, good for you. You ended up in a great place.
Yeah.
That's what. So Stewart is such a unique area, and it's always interesting to. It always interests me how people ended up getting here. And everybody obviously has a different story, but like you, I knew in the sixth grade. I spent the summer in Fort Lauderdale with my aunt's parents and my cousin. I spent 5 weeks in Fort Lauderdale, and I knew when I was in the sixth grade I was going to live in Florida.
Wow, no kidding.
And it was my goal. And I was lucky. I moved to Florida in my 20s, in my late 20s. But I got here just as soon as I could.
Yeah.
And I never looked back. I mean, I had a great childhood. Lived in the Northeast of New Jersey.
Yeah.
Had a great childhood. Wouldn't trade it for anything. But I couldn't wait to get the hell out of there.
Yes, yeah. And nothing against, Rochester, just, I want to say this, very salt of the earth people, Midwestern folks like Ohio or Pennsylvania, nothing against the people, but, man, 9 months of cold does not jive with my body.
That's horrible. It is horrible.
So,
Yeah. So again, how did you end up in Stewart?
well, it's interesting because I think it was interesting. I took a flight. I was going to recruit some employees back in my large outfit that I worked with, and we actually went to Delray Beach, and we were recruiting employees there, and my only perception of Florida was Miami and like a little bit of Fort Lauderdale, and I actually knew Pensacola. That's really all I knew because I was a Navy guy.
Pensacola's Georgia.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, agreed. But once I kind of saw, Palm Beach County, Martin County, I was I said, wait a minute, people live like this? Like this is real life? Once I took that business trip, I kid you not, that was February of 2020, and COVID hit the next month, and I said, you know what, let's do it. I want to go be a Floridian.
You really rolled the dice.
I did. I did. I truly believe this, and this is to each their own. But a lot of people ask me, hey, at what age do you plan on retiring, Eric? Like, do you have a goal for retirement? And I'm like, I believe our bodies are physically meant to move. I believe our brains are physically meant to be active. And I think you kind of have to, within reason, keep taking risk, keep trying to grow. So it probably won't be the last time I put the chips on black, but maybe next time, less chips.
Well, yeah, no, never quit. You
Yeah.
know, probably without question, the number one question asked of me is, you thinking about retiring or when are you going to retire? Never. I don't have any plans to retire.
Yeah.
I never did. And and if we were out when my wife was alive, we were out and people would say that, ask me, she'd say, he's not retiring.
No, I think it's, not, and this is not a political statement, but I look at guys like Donald Trump. He's what, 78, 79?
78, he's going to be 79.
Sharp as heck, right? And he's probably on 3 flights a day. He's doing speeches. Like I want to be like that. I want to be energetic.
He's not human.
Yeah.
I admire him. I mean, I really do. I mean, his mind is more than sharp, even physically. I mean, look at him.
Yeah, he looks
He
great.
doesn't shuffle. You see Biden.
Oh God.
He's an enigma, and I don't want to. Better. This isn't political.
Oh,
but
we were
anyway.
just talking physical. I was just
Yeah,
talking
yeah,
physicality.
yeah.
But he's playing golf. He's,
Yeah.
Now I know now this is a big thing that I've changed in my life. Don't get me wrong. I'll drink alcohol, much less consumption today. I eat a lot healthier today. I've made a commitment to myself physically. So I do want to be that energetic, spry person in my later life, but I better start at 44 or else you can decay.
Your
right?
mind obviously has to be in tune to do that.
Yep.
But what's a shame is if your mind is in tune and you're physically not able to.
Yeah.
That's got to be a killer.
Yeah.
So yeah, I try and watch my diet. I mean, I've lived this long now. I'm living on borrowed time.
Yeah, yes, sir.
So I do. My wife and I never, ever drank at home. Like if we had company,
Yeah.
would have a cocktail or a glass of wine or something. Never drank at home. No, we'd go out on weekends and Barb would have one drink and I might have 2.
Yeah.
But I get home every night and I make myself a martini, put some olives in it,
Yeah.
change, and I enjoy my martini every
Yeah.
night. So I like a beefy or a Bombay gin martini every night. But I don't think that's hurting my physical.
No.
I'm not overdoing it.
No.
And I'll occasionally have a glass of wine at home, but we never did that at home. So, but now I'm by myself, me and Max, and so but I enjoy a cocktail occasionally.
Yeah, we got to keep living. We got to keep.
Yeah,
living. I
yeah,
agree,
yeah. And so, yeah, and like I said, the thing that most people, and it's normal for people to think, I've been in my position since '89. That's a long time.
Yeah.
And I'm in my 80s, so people ask the question,
Yeah.
when are you going to retire? But I could if I wanted to. And my report or my response is always this: Okay, so I play golf for 4 hours a day. What do I do the rest of the day?
That's my point.
I ride my
Yeah.
horse for a couple hours. What do I do the rest of the day? I go
Yeah.
fishing for a few hours. What do I do the rest of the day? I can do all those things and still work, and it keeps me
Exactly.
active. It keeps my mind active. It keeps me around people.
Yeah.
That's important to me. I have to be around people.
No doubt.
Yeah.
Yeah, no doubt. And still problems. I think problem solving is a big, like, I think not necessarily huge problems, catastrophic problems, but it's almost like you still have to be a puzzle, putting together puzzles to keep your brain
Yeah, that
just
keeps
still working and active,
no
right?
question.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
Yeah. So, tell me about your Blue Moon.
So the company is now, like any industry, right? Car dealers, insurance agents, realtors, contractors, there are good players and bad players, okay? And to me, marketing, obviously we believe we're one of the good players, right? Marketing gets very personal, and I'll tell you why. It's almost like being a financial advisor or a CPA. You have to, a financial advisor or a CPA, they see your books, they see your money, they know what's coming in and what's coming out. That's personal information to share. In marketing, a business needs to share with me those numbers because I need to know their margins, I need to know their revenue, I need to know all of these things before I can really put together a plan that makes sense for them, right? Because if you call most marketing companies, they have a package to sell you. We're going to do this, this, and this for this much money. That approach is good for the marketing company. It's not good for the business because the realtor, the chamber, the accountant, the attorney, it's all nuanced and they have different goals, ambitions, clientele, their customer behavior is a little bit different. So when I sit down with somebody, it's a consultation, tell me what's going on. What have you done? What have you tried? What's working? What's not working? Tell me about your product, your services. What kind of margins do you have on these? So I can help them, maybe push a product or a service that has better margins. So at the end of the day, it's not just selling them a service, it's getting very intimate with their business's finances. And to me, it gets even more personal because let's be blunt, we call it business, but these are affecting behind the scenes their family's bottom lines. So when I work with somebody, I just want everybody to know I take their investment to heart because I know it's affecting their families, their employees, their pay, and their bottom lines.
So is kind of
Yeah.
probably a silly question because especially I'm asking a marketing. Should every business have a marketing budget?
Well, I'm going to answer that with a question.
Okay.
Okay. So let's say, for example, a business, let's say you had an HVAC or heating and air guy, okay, fell down on his luck really bad, and he has $1,000 left to his name, okay. What should he spend that $1,000 on? If he only has $1,000 left in his business's name, you don't want to buy equipment. What's that going to do?
You need business to use the equipment.
You're right. So I would argue that $1,000 needs to somehow be rinsed to be able to repeat, to gain a new customer, somebody to pay you, let's say $3,500, right? So with that statement, we could easily agree that at the end of the day, the most important thing to a business is I'm combining them together, sales and marketing. There is no business without it. The business doesn't exist, right, without sales and marketing. Now, a lot of businesses get to a place where, they get to a place where they forget that. They really do forget that. And now they have other problems that they're trying to solve. But in my heart of hearts, absolutely every single dollar that comes in, just like some is going to taxes, just like some is going to payroll, a certain percentage of that 100% of the time needs to be invested into quality marketing. So the answer is yes.
So there's a science to marketing.
Agreed.
Okay. And if you're sitting down with a client, you obviously need to know who he's trying to reach, what his product does, and things and then you come up with a plan. Is that what you do?
Yeah,
You-
yeah,
so,
absolutely. So like,
So like you say, you
Yeah,
sit
sure.
down and interview you ask him about his whole life history,
Pretty
what
much.
his goals are and
Yeah.
everything. And then you then put together a plan that fits his lifestyle or his business model.
Absolutely. So I'll give you a real simple one, right? So if we we were talking about cars today, and when you car wasn't working or whatever, okay? Let's say somebody rear-ended you and unfortunately you got injured, okay? So now you're thinking, I need a personal injury attorney, okay? Very likely you're gonna, unless you knew of someone that's been in a car accident before that used a personal injury attorney, that's not a real high referral business, a personal injury attorney. It's a Google business. People will go to Google and search in, personal injury attorney Stuart, personal injury attorneys near me, accident lawyers near me. That's not something you would go to Facebook and type in, right? We were just talking,
Yeah.
Hubert or whatever the name was, wouldn't
Buford Pitts.
Buford Pitts
That's me.
wouldn't go to Google, or excuse me, wouldn't go to Facebook and type in personal injury attorney. So for somebody that wants those types of clients, what I would say to them is, your top investment should be being as visible as possible on a search engine. And it might be vice versa for another type of business. Make sense?
Okay. So, how a mama papa let's use Vicky as an example.
Okay.
She's a chocolatier. She
Okay.
makes chocolate.
Okay.
She's a one person operation, makes
Yep.
her chocolate at home.
Yep.
What what
What
would
should
you
she do?
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's obviously I mean it's not her it's not a full-time job. I mean it's not her it's almost like a sideline.
Okay.
Okay, so where or how should she market, or how much should she spend on marketing?
Yep. So, okay, good question. So now I would have to know, is it like custom homemade chocolates or something that she's making?
Yeah,
Okay.
and they're great. Oh my God.
Okay. So with that, ready?
She doesn't have a retail outlet. If
Yeah.
like I would go to Wayne and say, hey, can I have Vicky make me a couple of dozen chocolates? I want to give them as a gift,
Yep.
type thing.
This is an easy one. Really easy, believe it or not. So typically with something that you need, like I need a chiropractor, my back's killing me. I have a toothache, I need a dentist, right? Things that are in immediate need, typically people will use a search engine like Google. So chiropractor or back pain doctor near me, right? Now for things that someone wants, that's kind of like a luxury, like a homemade chocolate, right? It's very unlikely I'd go to Google and type in delicious homemade chocolates near me. That's very, very unlikely. So where that would make the most sense to be promoted is through social media. So Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, I would argue would be the three platforms that would be best for that, because they all can incorporate video. So it would be very easy, this easy today, and this would be free. Like, I wouldn't even have to charge her for this, right? This is how powerful social media is. She could take her phone and record her making the chocolate, and then record her chewing the chocolate to show the texture. And inside of the social media apps, like a TikTok or an Instagram, it's turned people that don't know how to take photos and people that don't know how to do professional video, and it gives them the ability to do decent photography and decent videography. She can make a marketing video in a matter of 30 seconds. If I was in her shoes, I would make one social media video per day and post it on all of those platforms, and I wouldn't have to charge her $1.
Really?
Yeah.
I guess that is the trend today. Now I don't I don't Google or look. Obviously, I'm in chamber business, so
Yeah.
I need somebody to fix my plumbing. I go to the chamber member and I fix my
Yeah, yeah,
plumbing.
yeah, for sure.
So what percentage of a budget for a mom and pop, a small type business, what percentage of their budget? Because a lot of people get scared off.
I
They
know.
hear marketing from, oh my God, it's going to cost me thousands of
Yeah.
dollars. So what percentage should a person, and I want to ask this question because I
Yeah.
want to make people understand it is affordable.
Yeah.
It
Oh,
can
for
be
sure.
affordable. So
For
what
sure.
percentage of your budget would you suggest a person dedicates to marketing?
Well, so that's a nuanced answer, but if I'm a big HVAC company and I have 30 employees, 15 trucks, they need customers
Oh
over,
yeah.
right, constantly, right? So I would argue if that business wanted to run at full capacity and be able to scale, 10 to 15%, I would argue, of their revenue should be dedicated to marketing. Like to give an analogy with that, like if I was, let's say, like I'll give you an example. I have a buddy who sells payroll and benefits and health insurance to companies. Okay, he just hired a seasoned salesperson, and it's, don't get me wrong, they do very well in that industry if they have a lot of clients. And he gave him a $100,000 base salary. So he's investing $8,000 a month to a seasoned salesperson in the hopes that this person is going to bring in accounts, they're going to bring in deals. I'm not saying you got to spend $8,000 a month, but the psychology is the same thing. It's not a physical salesperson, it's a digital salesperson you're investing in, right? It's a digital salesperson. Now, this is where most marketing companies, they're not all bad, but this is where they will mislead a business. They'll say, go big or go home. You have to invest a lot. You have to invest this much onto Facebook, this much onto Google. And number one, that's dishonest. Number two, it's incompetent for this reason. When I work with a business, I'll say, let's spend $5 to $10 a day. Let's go very small, okay? And we'll spend that much on either Facebook, Instagram, or Google to get their website or their ads out there, right? Now, when we run these ads, there's a lot of data. Like we can see how many impressions they're getting, how many clicks they're getting. And if we're spending $5 or $10 a day, we can see very quickly, ooh, this ad isn't working or this other ad is performing very well. So what they would be doing is hiring a professional like our team to say, hey, after 2 or 3 weeks, we think we found the magic recipe. This particular ad is spending, maybe it's only costing you $10 to get a new customer versus $50 to get a new customer. If there was a day and time to invest more money, this would be the ad to do it.
So you can track it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So we start small, and then once we see very high performance, we give the business owner the decision to go, hey, this might be a good opportunity. It's like if Bitcoin's shooting up like this, it's like, hey, you better throw some money into it because it's going to continue to go up. Make sense?
Yeah, it does. I couldn't believe how, in my mind, it is very reasonable. I ran an ad on, I think it was Facebook. I don't remember. It's been
Yeah.
about a year or so ago.
Okay.
But it was one of the QuickBook one of the media, and it was like $50 to run the ad for a week.
Yeah, it's not that bad, yeah.
I mean, it's so reasonable.
It is, and that's what I tell people. Start small. Now, my goal is, right? My goal is, and this, I don't want to scare anybody off. My goal is I want them to spend $20,000 a month. But that would only happen is if it has scaled for 18 months, and that 20,000 is bringing in 100,000,
Oh, yeah,
right?
yeah, of course.
But what other marketing companies will do is they'll say spend 5,000, spend, without getting any data, without doing the research, without getting any feedback. So I have them start small. There's no business that I can't work with. I'll give you an example. I have a company, okay, Your American Flag Store. The guy was canceled. He was selling hand painted wooden American flags, and a lot of them are Donald Trump. He got canceled by Facebook. He got canceled by Shopify. Shopify's a website where you can
I
sell
know it. I've
product
heard of
on.
it.
Okay, yeah, you're pretty savvy. And even PayPal kept his $118,000 of money. He literally got screwed over. Okay, we were able to get him out of these situations, and for every dollar he spends right now, he gets $5 back.
Pretty good ROI, huh?
Oh, for sure. So for every 10,000,
Wow.
he makes $50,000.
Wow.
Now you have to have the margins. That's why,
Sure. Sure.
because if you do 50,000 and you take out 10,000, it's like, okay, are you making money on that 40,000? And yes, his product. Hence why those margin conversations are so important.
Okay, so someone were watching and thought that they might be interested in doing a marketing
Yeah, yeah.
program with you. What should they do?
Um,
And more importantly, I think is how little, because again, people get scared off.
I know.
So tell me about that. How should they go about it, and what should they plan on spending to start off with? And how long do you perceive it would take for them to start seeing an ROI?
Yeah. So what I do with people, here's what I do. Of course, I like people to commit to us, for, let's say, give us 6 months to a year. But I'll do month to month agreements with people so they feel comfortable. All I ask of them is, hey, give us the benefit of the doubt over a few months. We're trying to find those.
Yeah, you can't expect it to start coming in your door tomorrow.
Yeah, yeah. It
That's why
takes a few months to pull the data, analyze the data, reconfigure the ad to find the secret recipe, right? But they can go to our website, rarebluemoon.io. Right on there it says schedule a demo. I still interface with new people sometimes, so they may even talk to me. I try to talk to as many people in South Florida as I can. But even if they didn't communicate with me, they would talk to one of my very seasoned marketing consultants. I would say, I would say if a business can swing $500 a month and I don't mean risk, but I think if they could invest $500 a month without feeling like that's going to create major anxiety for them, I think that's a fair number to start at. So it's nothing outrageous.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
And so they would. So if someone were contemplating going with your firm or marketing
Yeah.
firm, and they should give it 6 months.
I usually say 90 days. We're going to learn a lot in 90 days.
Okay.
Yeah.
So for an investment of
1,500.
$1,500,
Yeah.
I mean, that's pocket change. In today's in today's world.
Yep.
That's going to lunch every day.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that's interesting because as I say, I have always thought, and I never delved into it, and I always thought that the marketing was out of reach.
Well, and this is I don't want to knock anyone's business. So when I say this, I'm not saying these other mediums don't work. But let's just say you run a TV commercial. This is a good analogy to use, okay? There is a lot of cost producing that video. There's
It's upfront cost, isn't it?
no doubt. And to be fair, there's a lot of work.
Oh, sure.
I mean, you know how expensive all this equipment is?
Yep.
You don't want to know the number on those cameras.
No, I know.
No, you don't. That's a car. Okay, but this is why you do your filming here. It's
Yeah.
great quality and great people, right? So okay, so So there is a lot of upfront cost, and the real cost is in the generating of that video. It does take a lot of people to put that together. Now, let's say that commercial runs for 90 days, okay? After 90 days, and I'm so sorry, TV salespeople around here, I really hope not one of them's not a part of the chamber. I think there's a time and place for it, but I'm just explaining the difference between this versus, let's say, social media marketing. I'm not saying the TV ad, if it runs for 3 months, isn't effective, because yes, it can be, and people will say, oh, I saw your commercial. But there's no data. There's none. And let's say, for example, you run that ad for a month and it's not working at all. You don't even know. But you're still forced to put money behind it every month to the TV company because you're in this contract. Here's what we do, and this is the power of social media. Let's make you a reasonably priced video. Reasonably priced. Let's run that on Facebook and Instagram, and maybe because of your industry, we'll try to put it on YouTube. If that video is not performing after a couple weeks, we're going to stop it. We're going to tell them, hey, sorry, for whatever, we tried our best, it's not working. It's just not. No reason to continue to spend money on something that's not working. Let us recreate the copy, recreate the material. We call it a creative, the commercial, okay? So we'll recreate it in using data and our expertise to what we think the tweak may be. We redo the ad, and let's say for the next 2 weeks, it's performing exceedingly well. Now we go to the business owner and we say, I know you're only spending $5 a day, but this thing is gangbusters. You might want to throw $50 a day at it, or $100 a day, because it's just giving you tons of leads.
Yeah, there's an ROI.
There's an ROI.
Yeah, that's what everybody looks for.
Yep. So if someone comes to us, they're getting we're a partner of yours. We're a real business partner, not just a marketer. We're not just taking your money. We're truly looking to partner with you.
Yeah, their success is your success.
100%.
Absolutely.
100%.
Right.
Yeah.
We're winding down.
Yeah.
It's interesting. I sit here talking.
No, I love
for
these
hours.
questions. These are great.
Yeah,
These
yeah.
are great. Yeah.
Is there anything we missed that you want to talk about?
Well, could I mention the program we're doing with you? Is that okay to talk about?
Sure. Talk about whatever you want.
Yeah. Well, one of the exciting things that we're creating is we're basically making a video magazine for the chamber.
Yeah.
And we're very excited about it. So basically, we're going to be doing videos on benefits of being a chamber member. Benefits of investing in Stuart, or benefits of visiting a restaurant. I don't know if I should say Kyle G's or not.
It doesn't matter. Sure, why not?
Yeah. Tourism's a big deal, right? You want people visiting
Absolutely.
here. It brings
Yeah,
dollars.
Kyle G's a good member.
Yeah, and a wonderful restaurant, right?
Yes,
I'm going to
it
be
is.
meeting. I'm going to try to schedule a meeting with him
Yeah.
soon. But anyway, so, and we're going to compile it, all of this marketing, into rather than flipping through the pages of a magazine, you can just click on the videos of the magazine, and then
This will be on our website.
on your website.
Right.
Yep. And then various businesses can be highlighted within the videos. Obviously, they invest in it. No pressure to be a part of it. But if they invest in it, we come in and do a video piece about the member. So if it's in the healthcare section and there's a chiropractor, the chiropractor will have a video telling his or her story right on the chamber website. So I feel honored to work with you.
We're excited about it.
Yeah.
It was time for us to get into that, to move on.
Yeah, modernize a little.
Yeah, absolutely.
And before you cut me off and say you got to go, I want you to know I met with Troy down at the Boca Chamber, who I believe
Troy
is working
McCollum,
with
yeah.
us.
Good
He-
guy.
He talked you up like you wouldn't believe.
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
a good guy. I've
he-
known him. I remember the day Mike Arts was the exec down there. When Mike hired him, I remember the day Mike hired him.
Told me the whole story. He said you are a legend, and he's a he wouldn't say it, but he's a when you're the Boca Chamber president that long.
Absolutely.
So for him
he's
to
a big hitter.
bow down to you, I knew who I was messing with here. So
Well, I appreciate that.
Yeah,
I'll
he-
have to call him and thank
he
him.
was very complimentary.
Yeah,
of you.
he's a great guy.
Yep.
Yeah. they got a going concern down there in that Boca Chamber. I call it La La Land.
Well, I don't want to. This shouldn't be out there, but I'm 90% sure they're going to be working with us in the same capacity. So
Good. That's
yeah,
great.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, thank you so much. I
Very
appreciate
nice.
it.
Pleasure.
Yeah, and look
Pleasure.
forward to our hopefully a long time relationship.
Decades.
I don't know
I'm
how
not
much
going
longer
anywhere.
I'm going to be around.
Oh,
but-
come on. It was pleasure.
Okay, we're good.